Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rebels Book Club. I'm so glad you guys are all here. I have to be honest, I'm really, really nervous. I'm sitting here with my Louise Hay book, discovering that I really was nervous all day, even though I wasn't feeling very nervous. But I had this headache all day, and it turns out that headaches are a sign of fear. So the second that I addressed that, voila, my headache went away. So I'm going to give everyone a couple seconds to jump on. I wore my Heather-esque sweatshirt today. Nice is the new cool, in honor of our rebel. Oh, there, Heather. Nice is the new cool, in honor of you, our rebel leader, right? I'm making an effort to be nice these days. So here we are, right? I have our book, White Hot Truth by Danielle LaPorte. I hope you guys all had a chance to read it. I finished it up earlier this week, and I have a question. Did you all read this book, or did you listen to it? Because I'm going to tell you, I actually did both. And I think in this case that listening to it may have been better, because Danielle LaPorte, who's the author, also narrated the Audible version, and her voice is just so calming. It's so relaxing, and she has this incredible Canadian accent. So every time she read the word processed, she said processed, and it made me smile. But I really liked hearing her read in her own words, in her own tone. Mary listened and Heather listened. Mary, didn't you read this book a long time ago or listen to it a long time ago? I think you got it right when it came out. But yeah, so I sort of went back and forth and ended up listening to the majority of it. But I loved her voice. I wanted to see if anybody had any truth bombs that stuck out with them. I'm actually going to read you my favorite one. I just posted it on Instagram today because I love it so much. It's very much a spiritual rebel Heather Wood truth bomb. It's open, gentle heart, big fucking fence. And what else do you have to say, right? I mean, I think that sort of encapsulates the whole theme of this book, right? Is that we're all on this spiritual journey. We're all trying to find our way, but we also have to be really realistic about it, and we have to be really safe about it too, and do what's best for us. So I absolutely loved that truth bomb that was in one of the chapters there. Heather loves it when the author reads the books. Me too, because they know how to pronounce things and where to put the emphasis, and they know how they meant it. Yeah. So for those of you that are here, I would love to hear what your rating of this book was. I know in the past when Heather has done her book clubs here, she always asks what you would rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. So I personally thought this book was probably a 9. I really, really, really liked it. I thought it covered a lot of territory. It was really real. It was really honest. And I think it was really applicable to real life. So you type in, if you're here, what you think you thought the book should be ranked or rated. Anybody? All right, let's keep going. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this book, like I just said, is a book about spiritual practice, and it keeps it real. It's looking to keep it real, right? And she touched on a lot of subjects that I thought were important to touch. And, oh, Mary, a 9 too, right? Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. Heather gave it an 8. I loved it. I struggled to get her tone at first. Like, I thought she was super cynical until I kind of got her. Yes, I agree. Sharon says a 9 here too. Mary said, I love this. Own your extraordinariness and your ordinariness. Exactly, Mary, exactly. I think that is like a microcosm of the whole entire book, that it's all about sort of tapping into like the light in you and the love in you and all the power in you, but also living your life and not trying to be something that you're not. I love that. I love that. Heather, I agree. I did feel like, I think she does have a little bit of a cynical tone, definitely. I think she spoke to that a couple times in the book too, about how her sense of humor is sharp, and she talks about like living on living on your edges. I agree. I think that happens. Mary, what else? Oh, and this, I am the joy that I fought for. Exactly. It's so good. It's so good. I loved it. And I love that she started each chapter with a truth bomb, because I get those every day in my email. So I loved seeing those, and it was a good way to start and segue into each chapter. But I loved seeing it in her handwriting and hearing her read them. I loved that part. Heather, I love how she made spiritual stuff less woo-woo. Once I got past the cynical stuff, I really dug that. Exactly. I was really interested in the crystal part. Remember where she had that experience where she had all the crystals in her house, and then she had to get rid of them all because there was someone doing some bad stuff with them. I was really surprised that she doesn't have any of that stuff in her house, or that her environment is sort of free of crystals and oils or whatever, all that stuff. I was really surprised by that. And it was also scary to hear that someone was messing with her and her house and her living space through crystals. But then again, that's kind of real, right? So yeah, I loved the part about boundaries. I love the part where, the part I just read about open, gentle heart, big fucking fence, that part. But then she went into how she was saying that she was a river in need of riverbeds. I mean, that's how we all like say, oh, go with the flow, surrender to the flow. But if we do too much of that, where does it stop? Where does it end? Where can you say no? So thinking of yourself as that river and having to support yourself with these riverbanks that keep you moving and keep the flow going. If there are no riverbanks, the water just overflows and there's no river anymore. So that I thought was really, really interesting. I did like the guru chapter, the part where she was talking about how gurus, I know you don't like that word, Heather, how certain gurus, hit for someone, and then someone else can have the same experience and not feel it all connected or touched by that person. And I think that that's really interesting. It was really interesting to me that you can sit in the same room with someone who's a master of something. Hi, Aspen. And have a completely different experience. And I think that that's sort of one of the joys and one of the oddities of being a human, right? I mean, you take everything in through your own experiences and your own senses. So that I thought was really, really cool. Oh, and does anyone here have a favorite part? Or I know I asked about your favorite truth bombs, but is there any sections that you liked best? Any parts you didn't like? Any chapters that you could have done without? Because I have 2 more that I'm going to talk about, but I definitely want to hear from you guys if you were around. I definitely felt myself going kind of in and out and ebbing and flowing. And there were some days where I would listen a lot, and then there'd be 3 or 4 days where I just wouldn't listen at all. And I think I kind of had to be in a certain mood to be learning and taking it all in. Yeah, so one part that I loved was, let me see if I can find it, was the part where she was saying that, she was talking about tithing and having to, in giving money, but she was saying that you can also just go through your day and make space for people and send light and send love. And I just absolutely loved that part when she said that, she was at the grocery store and, she's walking by. Here, I'm going to read you a quick snippet. Ready? Before you leave a place, drop light into the space with something like this. May all who enter here be blessed with their heart's desire. Grocery stores, gas stations, public restrooms, classrooms, your neighbor's front porch, all space is opportunity for blessing. Bless all the babies born today. May everyone see you and love what they see. When you walk down the street, silently tell each person, you can do it. What? That's amazing. I love it. I love it. And I do that but I tend to only do it when I see someone that's struggling. I was at a hospital today taking my aunt just for a checkup appointment. But I saw someone who I knew was struggling, and not physically struggling, but emotionally struggling. And I could see it. And I thought, well, I'm a weirdo. So they walked by and I thought, you go, Glen Coco, you can do this. You got this today. And it made me think of this book and how I just did that. But here in this chapter, it says to do it all the time. You don't have to see someone that's struggling. It can just be someone on the street, good luck to you. It doesn't have to be as eloquent as Danielle Laporte. It doesn't have to be a blessing that you would hear in a church. It can just be, yes, I love you. Go do it. You got this. Heather, I love the middle to the end a lot more than the beginning. Agreed. I really felt like her energy shifted around a certain point in the book, like she got lighter. I was curious about what was going on in her life when she wrote it. I agree with that. I definitely think that the energy changed too. It definitely picked up, or maybe she was really focused on like building a foundation and explaining herself. And then once she got to the actual meat of the story, it opened up a little bit. Mary, that gave you goose pimples. I know, right? I love that. Can you guys see my diffuser blowing essential oils next to my face? Like I said, I was a little nervous when we began, and so I have the oils going. Mary, you'll be happy to know that it's one of them in there is Northern Lights Black Spruce, and that always makes me feel relaxed and happy. Okay, so if that's all we have to say tonight, I have one last point. I'm going to open the book up. I'm going to drag you guys down this road because I feel like it's something that is easily passed or looked aside, tossed to the side a little bit. Like, yeah, that's for somebody else. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring it up. I'm bringing up the sacred sex chapter. I'm doing it because I think that it's really, really important. Oh, Heather, I'm diffusing Citrus Fresh, Northern Lights Black Spruce, and Valor because I was nervous. And now I'm not. Now I'm feeling fine now. So yeah, I'm feeling good. So here we are. Back to the sacred sex. So this is the chapter. It says the sacred flourishes with respect. Okay. And I know that this is a topic that some of you in here love and will speak openly about. And I know that others of you feel like that's not something you're ready to talk about. And I get that. But I honestly feel like coming up in this world, I don't mean in this club, I don't mean in this Facebook group, I mean in this world, the next step that humanity is going to take is women taking back their power. I'm going there. I'm doing the smashing the patriarchy thing. So it's going to happen. Women are going to level back up, right? We're leveling back up. We're doing it nicely. We're not being mean. We're being cool and we're being nice, but we're bringing ourselves back to power. We are restoring the balance that needs to exist on this planet. And a step beyond that is reclaiming our power, that the majority of it comes from our ability to be sexually powerful, our ability to be fertile, to create humanity, to create humans, to create ideas, to create more power and love. That's where we are going next. So I think that this chapter, I think she's 500% right that whatever your feelings are about sexuality, that's okay. You don't have to be, like she said in the book, a crazy swinger who's, having these polyamorous relationships. No, you do what you want. You do what makes you feel most powerful. That's the important part. That's the part that I feel like really, really needs to be addressed culturally, internationally. This topic needs to be addressed. So I did get this one quote that says, "Loose or focused or somewhere in between, sacred sex moves us closer to our power, not further away from what our hearts truly desire." So if you're in control and you're doing what makes you feel happy sexually, then you're moving closer to your power. Sex doesn't have to be giving something away or something that's taken from you or something that's used to distort. Power, when done properly and safely and with someone that you love or someone that you just want to be with, that moves you to what your purpose is. And that moves all of us forward because we're balancing that energy. So that's my women's lib speech just for tonight. There will be more. There'll be many more women's lib speeches, maybe not in book club, but I really feel like that's the next step for all of us. And so when we get to the point where we can say, this is what I'm doing with my body, this is what makes me feel powerful, this is how I feel happy, we're one step closer to rebalancing that energy. Heather said, hell to the yes. I know. It's true. It's true. Women feel so held back. And even, they just do. And that's just what has to happen next, is that we need to address these things. It might be uncomfortable. It might make us feel nervous. She even left it to like almost the last chapter. It was sort of almost, it felt like it was almost didn't make the cut for the book, but it was here. And I feel like it's really, really important. So yeah, I did really like this book. I agree, Heather, the energy was a little bit sort of wonky, but I really did like it. And I really liked hosting. Thank you for having me, Heather. And if you like to talk about the sacred sex and the divine feminine and all these issues, you can always check out my group too. I think Heather told me to self-promote. I have a group on Facebook too. It's called Urban Light, Reiki, and Self-Care. And we do lots of talking about feminism and all that stuff. So something to consider there. Yeah, do I want to announce the next book? I think I should. I think it runs right in line with what we just talked about. So I know some of you have read this book that's coming up, but I really want to have a good talk about it. So even if you've read this book before, I would love it if you would revisit it. I'm talking to you, Aspen and Mary. And Heather, you haven't read it, so I want you to read it too. I feel like it's prolific and it's key to finding yourself and where you want to be and finding what your purpose is and how to serve it to the best of your ability. I almost feel, I'm going to announce it in a second, sorry. I almost feel like Heather could have written this book. So she must have been getting the same downloads as the author was, because a lot of it falls in the same line. But the next book club book will be Rise, Sister, Rise by Rebecca Campbell. I have like almost a girl crush on Rebecca Campbell. She's amazing. She's so smart. She's so feminine, and powerful. And that's what I mean by feminine. She's so powerful. She's so grounded into what she wants and what her purpose is. And her book is, for me, it was life-changing to read Rise, Sister Rise. And David, I know that you're here in this group, and this is not a girls or a woman only book. This is for men too. This is how you can support women. This is how you can better understand women. And I would absolutely love to have your feedback. If you're going to read the book, I would love to have that. So everyone's invited, everyone's included. And oh, I know Aspen. Aspen introduced me to Rebecca Campbell. No words for how I love her and her work. I know it's just something that is just so powerful and divine. And I know that's corny because she works with a divine feminine, but there is this underlying tone of divinity and just rightness. Sharon, yay, that's been on my list to read. Get it, girl, get it, read that book, and we'll all talk about it. I just feel like it's awesome. It has all these exercises at the bottom for you to think and to journal and to brainstorm and write your ideas down. So it's not this sort of abstract, esoteric, go find your purpose and do this. It's very much write this down, figure this out. Let's serve. Let's access our femininity in the best way that serves us. So yeah, so that's it. That's the next book club for us. I don't know what the date is yet. I haven't looked at the calendar, but it'll be about 6 weeks from today. And yeah, thanks for reading along with me, and thanks for chatting tonight, and thanks for having me. Talk to you guys later.